What's good, people? It's about that time to randomly relate reverse rants, no hate. So, everybody knows by now, AJ versus Fury is off. I felt like the fight was never going to happen anyway. The reasons that so many big fights not happening nowadays, if we don't know the details, even when you do know the details, but especially when you don't know the details, it makes people lose interest. You know, like, people expect something to happen, pause, and then nothing happens. Like I've said before, fights that we don't really care for, they happen quick, out of nowhere. And the reason why I didn't think this fight was going to happen, first off, let's just be real. This fight was not treated like a big mega fight. This fight came up, and then 3 weeks notice, like you know, accept the fight, this, that, whatever. You know, people come up with just like, you don't treat a fight like come on, like, if you are a part of this, right? It's like we can sit back here and talk about Ali Frazier, Ali Foreman, you know, Ali Norton. You know, we could, you know, Mike Tyson, Evander Holyfield. You know, we could talk about all these great rivalries, right? Basically, you come in there to win. But the fights themselves, when you sit and look at them, it's like, okay, those are great fights. You know, these guys are warriors. You know, these guys went in, you know, they put it all on the line, whatever. You were intrigued. You were into it. Nowadays, I mean, you hear more talk about making weight, failing to make weight, anything other than just the fighters wanting to fight. And this whole, you know, fighters have always, you know, you come in there to fight, okay, but, and not always, as far as the trash talking, like, it just got, they always had some kind of, even if it was like sarcasm, but like fighters could come to a press conference and it wasn't about, I want to, you know, make the world feel like you're trash. You know, I really just don't understand. Even like, you know, like when Ali was saying that about George Foreman, I told you he don't hit hard, he ain't nothing. Like, then your victory meant nothing. I don't care who the fighter is. The things that they say, like, instead of saying, hey, George Foreman's a strong guy, you know, he's a knockout artist. He knocks, you know, damn near everybody out. You know, and I went in there and I did what I had to do. And, you know, like, you know, but when you say the fighter's nothing, they're not this, they're not that, you know, just trying to belittle the guy. All of this as far as trying to get in someone's head. Yeah, I mean, you know, it's words. It doesn't mean anything. To me, I always just felt that was, like, wrong. Because, like I always say, if you can say somebody was trash, they're nothing, then you can't bring their name up if somebody questions your resume. As if he was a bad motherfucker. No. You even after the fight, years after the fight, I showed everybody he wasn't nothing, or he wasn't, no. Then basically what does that mean? If he was nothing, right? That means you just beat someone that you were supposed to beat. Now, right now, Chris Eubanks and his dad are trying to get under Connor's skin, and it's working. It's been working from the very beginning. You know, Chris Eubanks, look, let me show y'all some game that's being played. Chris Eubanks Jr. is saying that he's, you know, I'm only going to be 60%, but my 60% would be good enough to beat Connor, and he's saying all of this stuff, right? Then you see him eating burgers and ice cream and cake and all that, whatever, right? But he's talking about he hasn't been this light since he was 18, and it's dangerous for him because he has to, you know, all of this is him just trolling Conor Benn because it's working. You could see it in Conor's face. Like, he can't even hide his anger and his disgust. Like, he's letting that get to him. Sometimes people say things and it's kind of humorous. But overall, it's just so hard to get the very best fights. Like, example, Andy Ruiz. There's heavyweights that I feel would beat Andy Ruiz. Joe Joyce right now is very hot. You know, Anthony Joshua beat him in the amateurs, and so did Dillian White. This is a different Joe Joyce. Joe Joyce was knocked out in the amateurs as well. You know, but Joe's a different fighter now. You know, he's his toughness, everything. Like, his mental game is strong. Well, he just beat Parker. A lot of people now are starting to see Joe Joyce as, like, top 3. Well, if Andy Ruiz fights the winner of Wilder and Helenius, everything is an approving ground stage for these fighters, okay? I don't think there's nobody that thinks Andy Ruiz is the best heavyweight, and that people feel like, yeah, there's other heavyweights that will beat him. But this is what we want to see. These guys need to get in there and fight. It doesn't stop with him beating Luis Ortiz. So, that being said, I'm looking at everything that's going on right now since they listen, AJ and Fury has been talked about so much that it's like Conor Benn and Chris Eubanks Jr. is supposed to fight, you know, Saturday, and it's like everybody was so caught up into is Fury and AJ gonna fight that they haven't been talking about them as much. I feel like they're the second hottest topic, right? Well, they have a stipulation that they can cancel the fight if Chris Eubanks come in, you know, over 157. Now, if that was to actually happen, that would really suck. Terrence Crawford, Errol Spence. I mean, again, these guys did not treat their fight like it was a mega fight. You know, you understand? There's like, when a fighter has an attitude like it's just another fight, that's fine, right? He's just another guy. I'm not, you know. But at the same time, we know that that's bullshit. We know that they know they got to be on their A game to beat each other. We know that. But, I mean, the way the fight was handled, I feel like, too, I'm going to be honest with you, I think because of social media, we know too much inside game. Now, it's good to know enough to know what you're supposed to know so you don't get spooked, get bamboozled by people, right? But I just feel like there's just too much going on, and people are making soap operas out of this stuff. And you gotta understand, TV is not what it used to be. You know, you used to get great fights on Wild Water Sports Channel 7. Now everything is pay-per-view, or you have to have some kind of video package, or, you know, a monthly subscription to something or whatever, right? I said, plain and simple, pay-per-views should be special. You should not watch a pay-per-view and feel like I'm paying to watch old Tuesday night fights with just a headliner. They should be special. When you look at a pay-per-view, right? I'll give you an example of something, right? I always say this, and you guys know that this is true. If you watch UFC, the building is packed to full capacity from the first fight to the last fight. If you watch Bare Knuckle Brawl, right? The building is full from the first fight to the last fight. If you watch AEW wrestling, The building is full from the first match to the last match. If you watch Impact Wrestling, if you watch Ring of Honor, if you watch WWE, whatever, the building is packed to full capacity from the first match to the last. If you watch a soccer game, basketball, football, whatever, baseball, the building is packed, the stadium is packed from the first to the last. If you watch kickboxing, K1 tournaments, whatever, Bellator, the building is packed from the first fight until the last. Why is boxing the only sport that the building is halfway, more than half empty until like the last two fights? And nobody cares enough about boxing to say we need to change this. See, people are more worried about if they do these things that I'm talking about doing, they're not going to be able to make as much money as they want. See, every little company wants to make as much money as they can, to the point where, oh, we'll give you this, like they control boxing, like they can contribute more than everybody else. No. They did things the way that I'm saying that they should do it, the pay-per-views would sell a whole lot more. I mean, you think it's impossible? You think those numbers wouldn't be up? I mean, I didn't, really like the Triple G Canelo fight. Like, it wasn't, But just imagine, let's just say, for example, all these tournaments are going on, right? But again, let me say it. What if you would have had Canelo versus Triple G? Same night. Tank Davis versus Ryan Garcia, same night. Anthony Joshua versus Fury, same night. Imagine. Devin Haney versus Kambosos too, even though we don't, but just say, or no, forget that. Devin Haney versus Lomachenko. Which fight that any of those fans want to miss? That will get their asses in the seats and invested into boxing. But they want to keep doing it their way. And with all these different companies, it's not helping the quality of boxing. You have all these fighters that flashy, they're young, they look impressive, they haven't fought any real competition yet, but then they end up with losses because they're not being moved right, and then they get to a point where nobody really knows who they are. A fighter wants to become a superstar. They want bread. They want recognition. At some point, the more success you get, depending on who you're with, you need the balance. Now, right now, for example, I don't know who's at fault, but like I said, I posted a picture in the community section where it said that Jay Prince is telling Errol Spence not to respond to any contract, anything for Terrence Crawford. Right now, people have lost a whole lot of respect for Errol Spence, and we don't even know the details. But this is what I mean about boxing. And just like they're not talking about their fight like this was a big deal. You had a lot of people saying this is the most important fight or the biggest fight in boxing, and basically it's not happening. Anthony Joshua and Fury's not happening, and then you see John Fury talking trash about he'll fight Eddie Hearn on the undercard for free and all this crazy shit. Like, why would you want to fight Eddie Hearn? You just have a dislike for him. Okay, how about Mickey Theo? He'll fight you. He'll fight you. Somehow John Fury is always in an argument with someone. He's ringside arguing with Derek Chisora, trying to start a fight with him. He just has this mentality. Like, I don't know if maybe he just didn't get the recognition that he wanted when he was younger, and he's still trying to live it out in his head. But he's always involved in something where he just can't get along with anybody. He's always trying to fight someone. Like, just, nobody want to see, old saggy chest, hairy, wrinkled, gray ass fighter in the ring trying to fight anybody. That would be an embarrassment. That would be like boxing doesn't need that kind of stuff. And no, I wouldn't want to see Eddie Hearn fight anybody, and I wouldn't want to see John Fury fight anybody. I don't care what he used to do. I'm like, man, I'm not doing a video about that. And someone asked me about it. Yeah, I heard what he said. Like I said, fight Mickey. Mickey will fight you. Fight Mickey. Do it on that event that Tyson and Roy did it on, or whatever, Legends, whatever. Do it on there. Do it on there. I'll be damned if I want to see that shit. And I know I wouldn't watch it. That's the whole point of what I'm saying. If I did, it would be like just for a good laugh. I damn sure wouldn't watch it like, oh, this is gonna be a good fight. But yeah, fight Mickey. Why would you want to fight Eddie Hearn anyway? Eddie Hearn's not a fucking fighter. Like, why? Yeah. So anyway, I'm not gonna do a video about that shit. Just looking at what's going on, man. We got Wilder versus Helenius. And you know what? I look at it like this, man. It's funny how I'm reading the comment section one day, right? And because people are sleeping on Helenius, Wilder fans are like, nah, y'all tripping. Helenius can fight. Helenius this and that. It's like, Helenius has power. When you say he can fight, I mean, are you saying that he's a worthy opponent for Deontay? Are you saying this is a dangerous fight for Deontay? Are you saying that this is Deontay versus Fury, or Deontay versus AJ, or Deontay? You understand what I'm saying? Like, is that what you're saying? Because let's be real. Nobody was talking about no damn Helenius. And this is the most attention that I've seen him get, because he's about to fight Deontay, in the title eliminator. I'm just saying. Now I'm looking in the comment section because the fight's about to happen. And when the video is not about people shitting on Helenius' credibility, all I'm seeing now is Deontay by knockout. Early KO. This dude's a bum. He ain't shit. And you know what's funny? I look at other videos on these big channels, and I look, and it's the same people. It's funny how they change their story. 1 minute, he's a solid fighter. The next minute, he ain't shit. Wilder gonna destroy this bum. Okay, say it like it is then. You know that this is a cherry picker for fight. But, it is what it is. So, this is the part what I'm saying. Okay, people can sit here and ride Fury's coattail with all this, sit there and bow to him and act like, he can do no wrong. But at the end of the day, he sent contracts. Okay, remember, Derek Chisora was arguing with him. So now he wants a trilogy fight. So wait, first you retired, then out of your own mouth, right? Y'all know the videos are right here in my archives. Go about 8-9 videos back. They're there. And you're saying you have no interest in fighting Alexander Usyk. Then all of a sudden, you want to fight him. Okay, he's on the shelf for a little bit. Then you want to fight AJ. But at the same time, you was talking, in talks with Manuel Char. You sent videos back and forth. Same day that you talked to AJ, you had already spoken to Manuel Char. Then you turn around and we see you ringside arguing with Chisora, and Chisora is saying, hey, you said my name. The same thing pretty much that Manuel Char was saying. But, so I want the fight. And he's like, if you want the fight, sign the contract. He said, okay, that's what I'm saying. I mean, to sign the contract, you got to send a contract. So now we come to find out that, yeah, he sent Derek Chisora the contract. And AJ and Derek Chisora is close. Those are the two names. Is it just a coincidence that those are the two names that came up? as other opponents out of Frank Warren's mouth. And then we heard what Fury had to say to Char. So I'm saying, when I say this is who we wanted to fight from the very beginning, bottom line, it was a cherry pick. We heard what Shane Fury had to say. We heard, listen, this is, like I was saying, we can't, who wanted to see Trevor Bryant versus Berman Stavern? But that fight came up, boom, had that trash. There's fights we don't care to see. But then we get, we get this title eliminator. This fight's not being in jeopardy of being stopped. But because Fury wants to, as far as I'm concerned, try to play the role, try to make it look like he wanted this fight, saying all this stuff, and then end up, he's the one who pulled out the fight. Like I said, the fight was moving at a normal pace, but this guy doing what he's doing, and then, spin the narrative that Eddie Hearn is holding on to the contract. Eddie Hearn works for Anthony Joshua. I don't know how these people are like we already heard the talks. So anyway, I never had confidence that fight was going to happen. And from the very beginning, like I said, I don't believe at all he expected Anthony Joshua to take that fight. And he was going to use Anthony Joshua's name to build his own profile up even more, to try to get attention to himself, saying, I offered the bodybuilder, he don't want to fight, he's scared, this and that and whatever. And pretty much Anthony Joshua accepted it. Now with everything that's going on, and here's the funny thing, right? Eddie Hearn's a fucking promoter. Okay? Frank Warren, all these guys. They want to act like they don't understand what goes on to make a fight happen. Right? And Joseph Parker, if you remember, said it's torturous dealing with Frank Warren, because he says one thing, then he changes everything on the contract. Eddie Hearn says the same thing, right? And there's other people who said the same type of shit about Frank. We're dealing with Frank Warren. Well, everything needs to be right. You know what's so funny? Because I hear people we talk about the legendary fights and everything. I wonder how many people paid attention to after Muhammad Ali beat Sonny Liston, how when they were being interviewed in the ring, the interviewer is asking Angelo Dundee about the fight and says, now, would you guys be willing to give Sonny Liston a rematch? And he said, I'm sure it's no problem. I mean, if it makes sense, if the money's right, yeah. If the money's right. If it makes sense, if the money's right, that'll be no problem. Like I told you, it's always about money. It's a business. It's an occupation. It's how these people eat and feed their families. Trophies and belts don't feed your family. The money does. So like I said, it was easy to make fights back in the day. And, fighters wanted to get in there and fight. But it was always about the money. And this is in the 60s. And that's exactly what Angelo said. Basically, if the money's right, if it makes sense, if the money's right, I'm sure it'll be no problem. You don't just go in there and put your body through that just to take whatever, just for what? Just to make some people go, ooh, ah, but it's always about money. So all that, back in the day, they ain't care about money. No, hell no. When you look for an occupation, you don't just take, boxing is not something I just took boxing because it came along. No, that's what you do when you just take a job, whether you want that job or not. You in a situation where I need an income, right? No, boxing you train and prepare for. It's a system. So, just saying, it's like we don't, the fights, don't get me wrong, we had look, the most intriguing fight to me that I've seen in a while, fight that I was into, was, Parker and Joyce, because we wanted to see what Parker has. Okay, we wanted to see what Parker has. After the 2 fights with Chisora, I picture him fighting Parker, Chisora, different from the way he did. But that's why I always tell you, you can imagine something, but that doesn't mean it's going to play out that way. And he didn't fight him the way I imagined him fighting him. And you imagine it based on what you see them do, but again, you're not them. Well, then it would let us gauge how good Joe Joyce is. And me watching the fight, I felt like, yeah. And like, look, Joe Joyce didn't look super fast. He looked a little quicker, a little sharper, less wild, sloppy shots. He throws his punches funny to me. The way it almost like his arm is bent when he throws his punches. Like he has a weird way of throwing shots. But I mean, overall, he did what he had to do. And you never seen nobody beat Joseph Parker up like that. And the fact is, he stopped Joseph Parker. And I guess people forgot how everybody was saying Joseph Parker had an iron chin. I mean, we've seen him go down against Dillon. He got back up, but, he got stopped. He got stopped, man. And my whole thing was, okay, cool, good fighter. We're not going to see him get every fight we want to see. And, these fights take a while. I just feel like the key fights, though. Understand this? Like, again, Joseph Parker is a heavyweight that former world champion. But, you want to see a good fight. And we saw a good fight. And that's what we got. It wasn't a boxing match so much. It was really more like it was a fight between the two. Heavyweight boxing. When you look at who's there, still a lot of the same names. And you feel like for me anyway, how I look at it, you got Usyk and Wilder going back and forth now, right? When people want to show you that I'm not desperate, I want to fight you. But if you want to play games, I can play games too. I have options. You're not the only, you're not the only fight out there for me. And they start this whole, going to fight someone else. And then the path that the 2 fighters you thought were going to end up on the same path, then nah, it doesn't go down. And like I'm telling you guys, we don't know for sure that Undisputed is going to be next. Think about it. Once you start, thinking about how things are going to be or what you think, this is the best way to handle not just boxing, but situations in life when you don't control it. Just understand things may happen that you want, or it may not happen. And there's no need to all this. The fighters have to want it. And understand, fighters can say, I love all my fans, I love you guys. They don't know you. They love what you do for them. Okay? You make them rich. I don't know what went wrong with most of these fighters. Well, I do know that because these guys, like I said, they're making a pretty penny without even having to fight the very top guys. But let's just be real. We want to see Usyk. We got Usyk versus AJ. People spent more time criticizing AJ instead of just looking at the fight. Like, it is what it is. We got Fury versus Wilder. We had all this crazy shit going on. And it was harder to enjoy the fight before the fight because of just the whole thought of the fight, because of all the allegations and dumb shit, and then all the stuff that was supposed to happen, didn't happen, whatever. Okay. It's too much drama surrounding the fights is what I'm saying. Yeah, we watched AJ and we felt like AJ should have won them fights. But he didn't fight the way that we feel like he could have fought. Twice. So the better man won. It's that simple, right? then when you get these fights where these guys are coming in here claiming they're the best, they want the best, all this and that, it all sounds good. But what I don't like about boxing right now, it's like the younger fighters are being looked at like, oh, he ain't ready, he ain't ready. I just did a video where I'm showing you these guys that were champions at 17, 18 years old, 20, 21 years old. You know, right now, look how unappreciated Devin Haney is. Let's just be real. Look how unappreciated he is. You know, and then look at David Benavidez. I mean, he did it to himself with not making weight. But same thing with him. You know, so when you hear a veteran fighter like Canelo saying he's done nothing, and Canelo is still, see, when you're still in your prime, this is what people need to understand. When you're still in your prime, and you're saying that other guys that's right here available for you to fight, they've done nothing, but you fight guys that have less credibility than they do, then what did that say about you and that fighter? It's a fight you just don't want. I don't know if this is true. Okay, I did see some little article online, and I was starting to read it, and I had something to do, and I said I'll get back to it. But let me just mention this, and I'll look more into it. So Clarissa Shields spoke her piece about Canelo and stuff, and, you know, so I'm hearing that she was stripped of her Ring Magazine title, or one of those titles, because of things she said about Canelo. And I said, if that's true, that's a real trashy move. I mean, if that's true, I mean, Canelo told Demetrius Andre he's a horrible fighter, he's done nothing. Cursed his dad out, cursed him out. Was you know, all this, you know. How do you do that? I watched Riddick Bowe two-piece Larry Donald. Remember when they were standing up there next to side by side before they fight, and basically Riddick Bowe just punched him in the face for nothing. Larry Donald was saying, Riddick Bowe was talking, saying what he's saying. Larry Donald was saying what he was saying. He didn't get in his face, he didn't touch him, none of that. And Riddick Bowe hit him with a two-piece. Did they strip him? Did anything happen? I mean, what I'm saying, I seen Larry Holmes run across a car and drop kick Trevor Burbick. Or was it Trevor? Yeah, drop kicked him, ran across the car and drop kicked him. Did they strip him of anything? But damn, over some words. Because I do remember when Larry Holmes said Rocky Marciano couldn't hold his jock strap, and people act like Rocky, like Larry Holmes just said, yo, I got my finger on the button, I'm gonna blow the world up. But yeah, I mean, it's one of those things. She spoke her mind, and then she kind of like apologized for it. And I didn't really see the whole, you know. So like I said, I'll look more into that. But I'm like, what is boxing coming to, man? When did people just become so soft? What kills me about society, period, things that I find offensive, I see a lot of other people don't. Things that I find childish and have no interest in, other people are interested in. We're all different, right? But she didn't make a racial slur. She didn't say anything about that man, like personal business. Hold up. Manny Pacquiao said, remember, he don't like Floyd because he beat up women. Remember that shit? And I remember saying, well, goddamn, you're going by allegations. Let's not forget, people go to jail all the time. Then 35 years later, oh, Mr. Williams, you're free of the crime you were convicted of 35 years ago. You're found innocent, or whatever. Not because he did his time, but they found out that, oh shit, we locked up the wrong man. 35 years of your life in a fucking jail. Okay, oh. It's funny how you can sit up and say nigga, bitch ass nigga, faggot ass nigga, punk ass nigga, soft ass niggas, bitch ass hoe. You can say all of that and it's not offensive. You can go back and forth. I've seen fighters go back and forth. Damn bitch ass nigga, you don't even nigga, I roll on you, nigga. And this is acceptable. This is okay. Nobody saying, hey man, look, tone that shit down. You know what I'm saying? Even if you on your own iPhone or your Samsung or whatever, or you on, Instagram or Facebook Live or whatever, don't matter. It's not just boxing. I think they should censor a lot of, like, we all say our little curse words and whatever, but you know what I'm saying. It's like the whole point of just, everything is about, let's just be disrespectful. Let's be arrogant. Let's act ignorant. But somebody speak their mind about a fighter? So I'm like, if they really did that, that's some real sucker shit, man. That's some real sucker shit. Like, and if that's the case, it's only because she said it about Canelo. Think about it. I mean, so if that's, I mean, all the shit, her and Savannah Marshall done been back and forth with each other, but she speak her mind about Canelo. So I'm like, I'm gonna read into that, yo. Like I said, because I know what I was reading, but I'm gonna look into this even more because I want to know if that actually really happened. That's like, so that goes to show you the power of one fighter and the mindset of the people behind it. How you gonna strip somebody because they feel like they have some words? I mean, so are they gonna strip Charlo for saying that Canelo don't want to fight him? Are they gonna strip Canelo for what he said about Demetrius Andrade? They gonna strip Devin Haney because he's basically, things that he said about Kambosos and in response to Kambosos, like there was a situation of even Kambosos feeling upset because a particular fighter that was in his camp is now in Devin Haney's camp, and he blocked the guy and all that on social media and don't want to talk to the guy and feel like he betrayed the, whatever. I mean, people always say things. But again, this is what I mean. This circus stuff with boxing. The fights that we want to see. We don't always get it. And we're not always going to get it. But fights that we have little interest in, when these fights do happen, and you put these weak undercards together on top of that, if you take a solid fighter and put them on a weak card of fighters, it's an in-service to that fighter as well, and to the fight fans. But this is what I'm saying. I just watch how certain things happen, and it just amazes me how much money is involved in boxing, even though it's as cutthroat as it is, and is poor as they handle these fighters' careers. I also saw something, I don't know if it's true, something about Tank Davis complaining about his bank account. Now, I did hear him tell Leonard Ellerby, get that money up. I did hear him tell him that. And that was right before the Raleigh fight. And he explained to people that he didn't say he was leaving TMT. He just said that his contract was up. And that people made that whole he's leaving stuff up. That's on their own. Okay. But I said a couple of videos ago, boxing suck right now. I mean it, man. Because even with the good fights that we do have, it's like amazing how you can just go through a list of fighters and look at how many fighters out there and look at how many of them are so unknown. They don't even know them. Anytime I see a talented fighter like Jerron Boots Ennis, people saying he's not ready, he clout chasing, he better sit down, Errol Spencer do this to him, Terrence Crawford do this to him, Keith Thurman do this to him. But then, these are the same people that's quick to say that a guy's not fighting anyone. He ain't fighting no real competition, but when they call it the real competition, then they need to sit down. It's like, okay. So, like I said, you got to be about 30, 32 before you finally get your recognition. As I stated before, by the time you're 30, 31 years old, between 30 and 32, they're starting to call you washed up. He's not the same. He's old, man. And I think that this heartening thing about it too, like for me, is because you know that the changes that you know would help boxing, like it's not gonna happen. It's just like a long, drawn out process. I think boxing will come to an end as a sport before people were smart enough to understand how to promote it better and give you quality fights and stop being so stuck in the past about how they had these fights. Having YouTube fighters and all this other stuff is not the way. And they think that that's going to bring eyes to the sport, and no, man, they don't. YouTubers follow YouTubers. That's just the way it goes. That's like thinking that MMA guys are going to start watching boxing and somehow start saying boxing is better than MMA. They like what they like. They're not going to, they're not going to start just watching boxing just because. And it's evident. How many times do you see a main event mega fight in Dana White and Frank Mir and Matt Hughes, John Jones? Do you see MMA fighters sprinkled all over when they pan the crowd with the cameras? Always the same people. Jay-Z, Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson, Denzel Washington, Jack Nicholson. It's always the same fucking people. Diddy, right? Same people. And just saying, So Devin Haney, George Kambosos, they gonna get it on. Really, the fights I'm looking forward to the most out of everything coming up right now is Clarissa Shields, Savannah Marshall, Alicia Baumgardner, and Mayner. Chris Eubanks, Chris Eubanks Jr. and Conor Benn. Those fights. Those are the 3 fights I'm looking forward to more than any other fights. Be honest with you. Not looking forward to the, Helenius Wilder fight. This is going to happen. It's like I said, this is a fight. Just, look. Here's the thing, man, and let me just say this. When fighters lack skill, it's harder for me to enjoy that shit. I know a lot of people just like the fact to see 2 guys with gloves on swinging punches, and they but for me, it's like, it is what it is. I watched Mickey Ward and Arturo Gatti have bloodbath war fights, and I remember people was thinking that they were like superhuman or something. It's like, you see what happens when they get in there with really skillful fighters, and you see the difference. Gotti was considered the better boxer between the two, but basically Gotti cut easy, he swole up easy. Gotti was a tough guy and Ward was a tough guy, but bottom line is levels. So what I'm saying is I wasn't as intrigued by those fights as other people was. I mean, I acknowledge, they scrapping, but I knew, there's fighters that'll beat them. It's not like these guys were unbeatable or on that level of people thinking, but people were thinking that because they look, oh my God, how are these guys standing up and how, right? And it's like, and that's one of the reasons, like when Floyd and Gotti fought, I remember the things that people were saying was going to happen to Floyd because Gotti's toughness and his willingness to come in, Floyd ain't gonna be able to hurt him, and it's all of these things, man. And he beat him easily. Doesn't mean Gotti can't fight, but it just showed you Floyd's on a whole different level. So what I'm saying, him and Mickey Ward look great together in the ring in terms of action and, bloodying each other up and all of that. But as far as the fight itself, it's like, they landed so many shots because neither one of them were really defensively sound. Gotti was okay on defense, depending on who he was fighting. He was okay on defense, but at times he was there to be hit too. But they called him and Ward throwback fighters. They remind us of the fighters of old, which is why even like when Ali and different fighters were saying these guys wasn't skillful, man, they were just too stupid to defend themselves. They stand up there brawling for no damn reason when they don't have to, but that's the only way they know how to fight. So stuff like that. But great thing is we have YouTube and other ways to watch old classic fights and stuff, man, because boxing just suck right now. And it's just like, here's my thing. There's a difference with looking forward to a good fight versus looking for a mega fight. And when you don't treat a mega fight like a mega fight, people want to be a part of something that they feel is big, you know? And look at all of the conversation that was made about AJ and Fury. The whole conversation was about contract disputes, broadcasting disputes. You understand what I'm saying? It's like everything, other than the fact that, you know, and one guy's just giving ultimatums and stroking his own ego and trying to rush the fight. The simple bottom line, I don't want to wait, do as I say. That's the whole mentality. Crawford and Spence, nothing going on. Spence just went completely silent, and the fight's not happening. I think anybody would have to agree. Those, you know, now AJ versus Fury would have been definitely looked at differently if AJ still had the belts and Fury had his belt. But still, two of the biggest fights, two of the very top fights. And the only thing with AJ is because he's coming off this loss to Usyk. You got people that think he can't beat Fury, and you got people that's like, I hope he beat Fury. So either way, it's just one of those things where you there's still intrigue there because people want to see. There's people that want to see AJ shake off that funk of what happened to him with Usyk, and you know it could happen, but I didn't think this fight was going to happen, and it's not. You know, you hearing all this stuff. Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia and Tank Davis, all this arguing and like, but no, nothing's happening. Nothing's happening. I believe if Shakur Stevenson, when he starts the campaign at 135, you might see Shakur Stevenson fight, you know, Lomachenko before you get the guys that was already at 135 fight Lomachenko. Who knows? What's this? You know, what does it mean? What does it matter? What difference does it make if Shakur Stevenson comes to 135, but then the fights you want to see don't happen? I mean, who wouldn't want to see Devin Haney versus Shakur Stevenson? Who doesn't want to see that? So what I didn't really want to do was play clips of what was said earlier today, you know, with Eddie Hearn and Coogan and Tony Bellew and all whatever, because it's like, we know what happened. Doesn't matter what people say. It doesn't even matter at this point. The point is the fight's not happening. We said all we need to really say about AJ and Fury as far as them fighting each other. However, the fact that Chisora has a fucking contract, and the fact that Fury opened his mouth and said that he's fighting Manuel Char, that he actually entertained that bull crap. I mean, I don't want to see Fury versus Char. I don't want to see Fury versus Chisora. I'm not even going to. Listen, like I said, certain things I'll give you boxing news about. That's it. I'm not trying to see no damn Fury Chisora 3. I'm not trying to see Fury Manuel Char 1. And pretty much the fact that he just want to get in the ring with a meatball, make some quick money. It would be great if it backfires, because how disheartening would that be? My first loss didn't even come from Usyk or Wilder, you know, or AJ or Dylan. You know, it came from Manuel fucking Char. Imagine that. Look, let's be real. Fury has now found a different way to fight with certain people. He only did it with Wilder so far. If you saw the fights between Fury and Chisora, then you already know how it's going to go. Chisora's too slow. He can't get past Fury's jab. It's going to look just like the first two. Just like the fight with Dylan. Whether he knocks Chisora out or not, whatever, I don't know, but Derek Chisora's not going to be able to get to Fury. So the fact that he wants an easy fight, that's the whole thing that people need to understand. You're not going to see him fight another top guy. Like, example, what if F.A. Ajaba and his team say, look, you need an opponent? I'll fight you. At least we know F.A. can crack. And I think Tyson Fury beats F.A. as well. But F.A. can't crack. I don't think he fights F.A. the same way he fought Wilder. F.A. is he has heart, he comes to fight, he can punch. But my whole point is, whether Fury wins or not, the whole point is, even if Fury dominates, I'd rather see him. Come on, look. F.A. is definitely better than Manuel Char. And F.A. will beat Chisora as well. Let's just be real. Chisora's too easy to hit. And unless F.A. fights completely stupid, he'll beat Chisora. You know. But Fury let him tell it, all these fighters are bums and none of them is on his level. This is why I say I like to see him fight Frank Sanchez then. See, Frank Sanchez, you know, Jared Anderson, Dubois, you know, I want to see these guys, you know, more of them. Joe Joyce, you know, Father Time, man, you know, Time's not on his side. So, I don't know how much longer he's going to be able to sustain what he can do, which is why he needs to be in the mix like right now. Which is why even when Fury's telling him he need to build himself up, well, the way, look at the timetable. If he does fight Joyce, it won't be no time soon. And I won't be shocked if after Fury does fight Usyk, if he pulls this, he's retired stuff again. So, just looking at what's going on with boxing, you know, I don't feel like talking about none of these other boxing stories that's going on. It's nothing to really talk about. I mean, it's, you know, it's funny because there was a time where boxing was a part of your daily conversation. Now it's just like, and I've been seeing so many people texting like, man, I miss boxing. I don't know what we watching nowadays. Go to the barbershop, the older guys, yeah, boy, we had some great fights back. I don't know what happened, man. I see these boys fight now, and all they do is argue and scream and talk tough, but they get in the ring and, yeah, I don't even know these guys. It's like, yeah, they've lost interest. So, yeah, those are the fights I'm looking forward to. I'm not looking forward to Devin Haney versus Kambosos 2. It's a fight that's not even necessary as far as I'm concerned, but it was contracted. So, after Devin Haney beat the brakes off him the second time, look, if him and Shakur Stevenson get it next, cool. And let me say this, too. This definitely is something I wanted to say before in this video. Definitely wanted to say this. People are criticizing Tony Bellew. Oh, Eddie Hearn paid him to say these things and blah, 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 whatever. But it's funny, see, because I don't know Eddie Hearn. He ain't paid me nothing. And so I've been saying the same thing. Not just about Fury, but in general. Where the fuck do you guys come off saying fighters back in the day fought everybody, all the best fought? But y'all make excuses now. Oh, but he can't fight all tough fights. Let me tell you something. We've forgotten what a champion is, didn't we? Y'all the same ones who, Floyd was taking an easy fight. No, stop it. Stop it. Look at the man's resume. Stop it. But you guys are sitting here making excuses. What you mean he can't take a hard fight, 2 hard fights in a row? It's not fair. Okay, hold up. So it's like this. Being a champion means you are the elite. You are amongst the elite. What's so special about you? If you're a champion and I'm not, but we're both fighting C and B level fighters, right? Then we get in there with one B level fighter. When is the last time that Fury fought a A level fighter? Because Deontay Wilder ain't no fucking A level fighter. The guy's a one trick pony. He basically, like I said, on paper, Dillian White and him was, Dillian earned the shot. Dillian got his ass kicked in 6 rounds. If you look at the fights with Wilder, aside from Wilder getting dropped, Deontay wasn't landing a lot of shots. And at best, he was landing glancing blows. He wasn't getting a lot of solid shots in. So my whole thing is you're unscathed. You didn't take punishment. And this whole, oh, but he is not fair for him to take all the tough fight. What makes you a fucking champion? Then you sit back and look at your resume. If you could look and say, I beat Deontay, even if whether you win or lose, I fought Deontay, I fought White, I fought AJ, I fought Joyce, I fought Parker, I fought Dubois. Do you understand? Now you can add Klitschko to that mix. Chisora was a good fighter. He was a respected fighter. You know, he's a brawler, good brawler. But, you know, doesn't his resume look way sharper now after saying all those names? Versus look at who he's fought so far. Right? Out of all those fighters I just named, how many of them are A-level fighters? So you got to fight the best of your era. You understand what I'm saying? But that's the whole thing. You're trying to fight fucking Manuel Char, people like Otto Wallin and all. I mean, the guy spent his whole career fighting easy fights. And you look on his record and look at who he's beat. And that's the thing. Fury can fucking fight. But now we babying people. It's not fair. Oh, y'all say with Canelo, all these other guys need to eliminate each other. Okay, right. So everybody eliminate each other and the last one standing fights Canelo. And then there's nobody left. Why fight those guys if they got beat by the... You understand what I'm saying? By the guy that you just beat. What's the purpose? Because you're not going to go up and down and wait to fight guys that you know is going to give you the best fight. You're going to go up and down and wait and play duck, 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 goose with these guys. That's what you're going to try to do. And now we talking about Canelo's age. All right, come on, y'all. I already talked about that, you know, like Floyd being 36, whooping Canelo's ass. Now this man's 33, y'all calling him old now. He's getting up there. He's not in his prime no more, but he's still... Come on, y'all. Like, really? That's the difference with being a champion. Anybody can sit in and grab a belt and throw it across their shoulder and walk around and act all arrogant and I'm this, I'm that. What makes you a champion? Are you a fighting champion? So where do we just give guys a pass to say, oh yeah, well, he should be able to take... Man, let me explain something to you. If right now I'm in a title, I'm in a title hunt and I'm fighting guys, I don't care what Anthony Joshua did. And by the way, Anthony Joshua don't take tune-up fights. He has nothing but hard, tough fight after tough fight after tough fight. It don't matter if you like the fighter or not. Look at the work that the fighters that he's faced and put in. That's why when Deontay said he was taking all the easy fights, what you mean? You ain't fight none of them dudes. Molina, people like that. Look at them easy fucking fights you had. Your whole career was fighting guys ranked literally in the 400s while you were champion. So even to say that is like, what are you talking about? Easy fights. And your whole fucking 40-something fight career, the only elite fighter that you fought was Fury. Okay? Ortiz, I was second best on your resume. So even just to give you the benefit of a doubt, your whole career, you fought two credible guys. Let's be real. Your whole career. Two credible guys. This is why, if you look at, like, Ali, who, yeah, we know he has listing, Floyd Patterson, you know, Chuvalo, Frazier Norton, Ron Lyle. I mean, all these fights that he had, Ernie Terrell, I mean, this dude fought everybody that was out there for him to fight. You never hear nobody say Ali ducked anybody. That dude fought the fights, man. How do you even try to compare yourself to Ali? I was, you know, he's 10 times better than Ali. How do you compare yourself to somebody? It don't matter if they got more fights than you. Just the fact that you have been pro long enough where your resume should be way deeper than what it is. And you got the nerve to compare yourself to somebody even put your name in the same sentence with somebody who's fought and had legendary fights. Your most legendary fights is with a one-trick pony that just has a right hand. Let's just be real. Didn't give Klitschko the rematch. So, any of these fighters, not just Fury, any of them, like, that's why I'm telling you, I don't see, let me tell you something. Fury does not have a Hall of Fame career. Anthony Joshua has the best resume in the heavyweight division. I don't think he has a Hall of Fame career right now. Deontay Wilder, Andy Ruiz, Joseph Parker, none of those guys have done enough to be in the Hall of Fame. None of them. None of them. So when I look and listen to all the stuff people say and they text and stuff, my whole question to all these people is this. If you think that just because you have that little hunk of metal and that plastic or leather or whatever the hell they make the strap out of nowadays, if you think that that's like, yeah, I got this, I'm the man, I can just sit back and pick and choose who I want to fight, that doesn't make you any better than anybody else. And I look at like Devin Haney trying to make all these fights, they're calling, you know, you the champ, but you're calling people out. After he gets rid of George Kambosos, whether it's Lomachenko, whether it's Shakur Stevenson, I doubt very serious, Ryan doesn't want anything to do with him. I don't think Tank is going to fight him. Devin Haney may very well have to vacate the titles and go up to 140 because I think he's outgrowing 135. Just like I think Shakur Stevenson is outgrowing 130. Which is, again, an imbalance. Why? Because that means if that does happen, well, we're not going to get Shakur Stevenson versus Devin Haney. Now, maybe at 140, do you finally get Devin Haney versus Teofimo? Because he's been there for a while. You know, he had his first fight. We don't know what's next for him. You know, you got Regis Prograde and all these guys there. You know, I don't want to even consider Broner because Broner, you know, mental health stuff he's talking about and all this, whatever. But just saying, so as a great fighter comes into a division with great fighters, somebody's leaving. So I don't know. I don't know. I think Tank want these fights, but we know what's up with the promotion. And overall, I just feel like it's just too easy to get fights made that nobody cares about, and it's just too difficult to get the fights that everybody want to see to actually happen. And for whatever reason, whether who's right or who's wrong or however, just the point is, it's just difficult to get the right things to happen in boxing, man, overall. And it's just, it's you know what? Just imagine watching a whole NFL or NBA season, right? And then all of a sudden, you know, you got the Cowboys, they play the Redskins, bam, they beat them, they're in the Super Bowl. You know, the Las Vegas Raiders beat the San Diego Chargers, boom, for the AFC Championship. The Cowboys versus the Raiders. Oh, we can't, you know, it's a broadcasting situation, or, yeah, you know, they don't want to share it. Just something, you know how pissed people would be? Man, football would be over. If that shit happened, people would just, what? No Super Bowl? So y'all went through all this, and for the main prize, and for y'all don't even want that? Y'all don't, you know, just imagine. Just imagine that. Imagine the NBA Finals, but there's no actual championship matchup. Huh? Major League Baseball, they get it. Nope. Only in boxing, man. This crap keep happening. Injuries and stuff happen, we get it. You know, things do happen. We get it. But my point is, it's just happening too frequent. And then we have the people want to choose sides, but like, no, look at the information in front of you, man. It's not hard to figure out who's the one being an asshole, man. It's not hard to figure out. You know, quick story, okay? I remember there was a time when I used to draw a lot. I never learned how to draw through like an art school. I could just look at something and I would draw. And I would draw. If I didn't like it, I'd erase it. And I would just draw. And I remember one day, this guy, now in my mind, I liked the way my pictures looked. But I wasn't comparing what I was doing to what other people were doing. And somebody one day was like, man, this dude could draw. I wish I could draw like you, man. Damn. Yo, how you learn? Like, what art school you went to? I never went to art school. I just taught myself how to draw shit. I would take my hand, hold it certain, you know, get these different angles, and you see the finished product, you don't realize how much times I fucked up. I had to keep starting over to get it. And I would look at other people's art and go, damn, that's amazing. So somebody's looking at my art the way I'm looking at somebody else's art, but I never compared. And if somebody was to ask me, do I think I'm the best artist, I would say not even one of the best. I don't draw to compete. I would just do it because I just love to draw. Then I started learning how to paint, and you understand what I'm saying? It's art. People might like something you do more than you like it yourself. But the point is, just appreciate it. And you feel it, and you get it, and you thinking, I'm doing something that people actually like it more than I like it. To me, I'm just painting a picture, or just drawing a picture. I'm not doing it to make somebody go, oh, I never did it. Yeah, okay, for that reason. But like I said, I watch other people, and I'm like, man, sometimes you walk past and you see things, and it's like, man, that's damn, I love that. I never had a problem giving people their props. But there's always somebody, oh, my man could draw way better than that. And what's your point, asshole? Did I ask you anything about what your boy could do? Am I even, right? There's always jealousy. So my point is, the same way somebody like or love what you do, there's somebody who just have to, you know, and that same person, this true story though, I'm not even saying theoretical stuff like, oh man, this motherfucker think he like some real artist. Oh, I'm not even talking, I'm drawing. I'm about 14 years old. This is a grown-ass man, probably like mid-20s. And he come to find out that we both drew something similar. But everybody was paying my painting and my drawing more attention than his. Right? So he's saying, I think, not to me, but to other people, oh, he think he all that, like he's some super artist or something. And I forget the guy's name. Y'all know. Somebody tell me in the comment section. I forget his name. Remember the white guy, the big orange afro? He always be painting. Yeah, right. A little touch of blue. And then we have a nice, beautiful sky. And right now, I'll put a little touch of white next there. You know what I'm talking about. Used to come on channel 13. Right after the electric company. Yeah, y'all know what I'm talking about. I forgot his name, man. They still make like bobbleheads and stuff of him right now. I had the big orange afro. But yeah, that's so he. Now, I'm not saying anything, but he's telling people things about me. So again, so for people to think, imagine somebody repeating him going, oh, this dude think he's some like the best artist. You're talking about my stuff, not me. You are. So from the outside looking in, you think you know the score, because the one talking the most is the one who's influencing people. But if you step back and understood, well, wasn't no way for them to know the truth, right? But my point, if they go by his story, yeah, I'm arrogant, conceited, think my paint. I'm not even talking about nothing. I just had my stuff on display, and yeah, so because he didn't get what I got in terms of attention, and right, so they must have felt I was a better artist than him. And the whole time, I don't even think I'm one of the best artists in the world. Never tried to be, never wanted to be. I just do it because I just feel good when I draw. I just, you know. So it's what I'm saying. Somebody's always flipping a narrative, creating lies. and people run with that without even talking to you. Then people get to know you, like, man, you ain't nothing like the way this dude was saying. Like, yeah. First off, you can only judge a person by what they do and say. Now, somebody can give you words and say something about a person and try to alert you, and they can be 100% right. And then two, understand the same way that somebody say something about me, they can say it about you. And the next person, and this is all I see in boxing right now. He this, it was his fault. Nope, that's it. Where it's like people are just complacent with that. So what just happened with, Fury and AJ is like the next promoters out there should be going, or next fighters out there, I don't want to go through that. Nah, see, like imagine right now if like Jerron Ennis and Virgil Ortiz are saying, nah, look, man, we need to fight at some point. You see what's going on with Anthony Joshua and Fury right now? Nah, we don't need that. We need to make sure that we do everything in our power. Now, we get it. It's different with it was the broadcast. I get it. But bottom line, we ain't going to pull no underhanded shit. I ain't going to try to force you, try to rush you into nothing. Same thing. We want to have our Ray Leonard and Hearns fight. We want to be, you understand what I'm saying? We don't want to deal with that. That's what all these fighters should be looking at. But what I'm saying, people will look at the drama of things, and then you don't even really know. Like, Fury's a big mouth. He talks a lot. So his fans believe everything he say. And like, everything I'm saying right now, people with intelligence get it. Okay? But if I was like some super rich guy and the world knew me, everything I'm saying, just from popularity alone, everything I'm saying, I'd probably have like, 16 million subscribers, and because of that. So the truth coming from a human being that's not known to the world is just who this motherfucker think he is. That's how people talk. They looking at the screen. So when I'm watching boxing, like that story I just gave you, that's how I feel. Like I'm watching a soap opera. When I'm listening to all these stories, and he said and she said, and this and that, and what's right in front of you, what's obvious, people don't pay attention to. Like me being humble, and I'm not even talking. I'm sitting there, got my display, and which, by the way, I had 12 paintings and drawings. I sold all 12 of them at that one event. All of them. Made some good money, too. And here I am at the time, like a 14-year-old kid. Here's a grown-ass man. Instead of being glad for me, like, hey, man, this young man went out here, hey, you did that? Oh, that's not... No, a grown-ass man. And because people are paying more attention to my stuff, his booth was right next to mine. Yeah, I'm selling all my stuff. I don't think he sold anything. I came there with 12 pieces, and I'm, I had a backup plan. Whatever I don't sell, I'm gonna do it again. But I'm trying to find when the next time we doing this. And yeah, you understand? Just my whole thing, For people watching me, should have been like, man, that young man over there doing this thing, man. Just saying. But if they judging me based on what he said, then I'm an asshole, right? Because I'm doing what he couldn't do. And when people was walking by, I would just say, good evening, 14 years old. Hey, that's your paint. Yeah. You did that? Oh, okay. Oh, that's nice. How much? And had the prices right in front of them. Boom, boom, boom. I'm like, damn, okay. Cool. Sold all of my paintings. But this is what I'm saying. You don't really see real camaraderie. Right now in boxing, somebody can say, that's my man, such and such, yeah, we go way back, and then all of a sudden they're beefing. You know what I'm saying? Next thing, it's just a lot of, I think sometimes people just be on the phone like, yo, you should just pretend we beefing. Like, I'm going to go on Instagram, I'm going to see this. I think that they do stuff like that. I'm just taking the time to talk to y'all about what I'm seeing in boxing and fights that's coming up. Like I said, I covered that, the fights I'm looking forward to, but this whole soap opera stuff, it's not helping boxing at all. I remember I used to hear that term, all press is good press. No, because some press you get will sink your ass. And again, There's only certain boxers that get recognition. Other boxers, if they don't know you, they're not rocking with you. They're like, I don't know this dude. He must be whack. I ain't even heard of this dude before. So yeah, man. I just feel like this is a crazy time right now, man. I'm just being honest. Like when I used to watch boxing and be so motivated, man. We in the gym training, hitting the bag, we doing everything, we sparring. You got boxing on, it's something doing. You know how people have an ESPN? Nah, we was just watching classic fights. Every boom, fights are on. You know, after we train, we sit around watching old fights, studying, you know, what they was doing, footwork, hand positioning, everything. Like everything. How they threw their punches, how they touch you, then put something real zip on it, everything. Head, body work, man. Can you fight going backwards? Can you fight going forward? You know, can you switch up styles? Can you fight southpaw or orthodox? Like, that's everything. It was everything, man. It was a different time. And it's like now, everything is all about, we getting money. You know what I'm saying? Just watch alone, 18,000. My chain, 350,000. And this is what it is now. Just saying. I realize times change and you're never going to get back what something used to be. You know, even if you get something similar, it won't be the same thing. And as long as, you know, these guys, like I said, are making big money without having to fight the best fights, and we saying dumb shit like it ain't fair for them to fight. Motherfucker, you are a professional boxer, not an amateur, not novice. You are a fucking pro fighter. You are a champion. You should be fighting nothing but the best. Real shit. And the reason why you ain't gonna fight the best all the time, injury, the timing is not right with you and a particular fighter. You want to keep active and you take a fight to stay cool. Just say that. That's all. But don't call out another top guy purposely and try to give him short notice so he's not ready. Don't come up here and try to make it look like you want a fight that you really don't want. All that type of stuff. When you factor it all in, you think about it, it's like, yeah, why would you do that? I mean, imagine Sugar Ray Leonard calling Marvin Hagler saying, hey, look, man, I need an opponent. I want to fight, you know, by December the 17th. That's 3 weeks. Just saying. That's two, not even 3 full months. If you look at the day that you're going to start training up until that point, you know, nah. Or calling somebody on short, yeah, hey, Marv, man, look, I was supposed to fight whoever, he ain't there on 3 weeks notice. Now Marv got 3 weeks to train for Sugar Ray, who's already fully prepared. Imagine that happening. Like, certain things you just don't do. Underhanded stuff, trying to look more superior than what you are. If you want to see something funny, man, watch that episode of Sanford and Son with Junior Joe Lewis, right? And Fred got mad because he hit Lamont in the stomach and dropped it. Fred did little yellow trunks on, the damn baggy ass long johns and the black boots, knocked Junior Joe Lewis out. And the fight promoter there was saying, hey, you know, the guy's like, oh, let me explain. He's like, no, I like what he did. He's like, can he do that little cute thing he did when he gets knocked out? Oh, I seen him do it faster than that. Yeah, good, because I need the right opponent to make my fighter look good next week. I'm watching that the other night and I started laughing. I said, yeah, that's what Fury was trying to do to AJ. Beat a AJ that's not ready and look good doing it. But it was just a funny ass episode, man. Yeah. Funny ass episode. I mean, that just watching it and looking at all what's going on in boxing is like, yep, yeah, soap opera shit. Soap opera stuff, man. Anyway, people, gave y'all an hour and 20 minutes of my time. Now I'm about to go in there, you know what I'm saying? Like 50 Cent. I was watching 50 Cent, you know what I'm saying, the other day. He was like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, because when I have artists, like, the budget that I have on my artists, you know what I'm saying? When I like, you put the money, you look at the project, the overall songs, you know what I'm saying? Like, I put the time in there, like, I'll give you 3 free songs, you know what I'm saying? I was in a bit like, damn, 50 would have been a hell of a ventriloquist, because you know how they talk without opening their mouth. 50 could do that shit. I bet you he could do that shit. Anyway, look, y'all, I just wanted to talk to y'all for a little bit, because I don't think I'm going to make another video. I know I'm not going to make another one tonight. I'll see what's going on in the boxing world tomorrow. Something worthy of talking about, worth talking about. Then I'll talk to y'all, bring the boxing news. But right now, same thing going on. Yeah, I'm just looking forward to the fight that's coming up. I'm just so tired of talking about why a fight's not happening. And it's like I said, people have become complacent with that. Like, the soap opera side of it is bigger than the fight itself. Because with all the complaining and pointing the finger and this and that and taking sides, when you clearly can hear it and see the lies that one person is talking about, and, things that they're saying, you really just feel like, damn, how much, like, what does a person have to do for you to open your eyes and see that they're not being honest with you? But, like the last video I did, man, like I said, for somebody to be ranked number 1 and number 2 best heavyweights in the world and fighting trash fighters and openly trying to make it, I told you guys, that's what he wanted to make it look like. He couldn't get the 2 fights that he wanted, so now he's just trying to keep busy, and Char was the only one available. No, that's not the only person available. You look at the heavyweight. So tell me, you think Frank Sanchez wouldn't take that fight? You think Efe Ajagba wouldn't take that fight? You think Daniel Dubois wouldn't take that fight? And then Manuel Char, I posted it up there for y'all, and that was on the Zone's page. That's the Zone channel, where he basically said he has a 3-fight deal with Daniel Dubois, Tyson Fury, and Joe Joyce. Have an agreement with Frank Warren. Right. Why would you have 3 guys, your top 3 guys on top of that? Why would you have them? Who the fuck you think want to see? I hope Joe Joyce turns that shit down, and Daniel Dubois. Like, man, don't insult me like that, Frank. Fuck, I'm gonna fight this trash-ass fighter for. That dude, Manuel Char, man, is just not a good fighter. And see, that kind of shit make other fighters think that there's... See, this is my point. How you gonna get a nice payday because you got a name against him? What are they gonna do? Let's make a bet and see which one of us can knock him out first or the fastest? Just saying right now, y'all, boxing sucks. I'm not motivated by boxing. I'm not. It's just there are some fights out there, like I said, and there's fights coming up, but I'm only interested in certain fights, just like other people. Everybody got their own taste in what they like, but I'm not overall just impressed by what we get. Not overall. It was good to see Joe Joyce get his just due, though, because now we know that he's tougher. We know he's a better fighter, that overall he's built for this, man. But, like, Joe Joyce, don't waste your time waiting on Fury. Just keep the ball rolling. Try to get the best fights you can get out there. You are the WBO mandatory. And don't sit back and try to play nice and wait for Fury to do shit, or wait for Usyk or whoever. He's already done said AJ's name. He done, say he'll smash AJ and knock him out and all. Well, you put that pressure on whoever you have to. I like to see him fight Frank Sanchez. I think that'll be a good fight too. Yeah, I mean, you earn, you build your legacy. You stand back and wait in the wings, waiting to see what's going to happen. You only getting older. Everybody's getting older, but you already 37. And, try to get in there with Wilder. Don't sit back and wait and let Frank Warren or whoever try to, like, move you along. My main focus is Fury, but then I got Dubois and Joyce over here, and I'll move them, based on how I'm moving Fury. Like, you create your own lane, and that's what more fighters need to do. They need to be more hungry. But the problem with these hungry fighters is that the guys that's been champ already don't want to fight them. And then the problem is those hungry fighters, once they finally become champ, they start doing the same thing. Duck, 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 goose. And it's like, it's not going to stop. People are just complacent with being able to pick and choose. Like I said, Ali ain't never ducked nobody. People, oh, but he ain't get Foreman a rematch. Like, people, stop. Stop. Every fight doesn't warrant a rematch. He could have gave him a rematch. You can say that for every fighter. There's always somebody someone beat that they didn't give him a rematch. Okay, and bottom line is, Foreman was supposed to destroy Ali. So when that didn't happen, now, oh, boy, he didn't give him a oh, okay. So you basically wanted Ali to lose. He didn't lose, and then the excuse that he didn't give him a rematch. Well, if Foreman would have knocked him out like everybody thought he was, you wouldn't be talking about a rematch, right? You wouldn't be saying, oh, he should give Ali a rematch. No, it's because Foreman didn't get the rematch. You know, I remember when Ali beat Cleveland Williams, and they, oh, but he got shot in his hand, and yeah, I know. Same way, the same thing happened to Floyd Mayweather Sr. before he fought Sugar Ray Leonard. But y'all don't bring that shit up because it's Floyd's dad. Y'all just want to talk about how Sugar Ray beat him. You see, you pick and choose, right? You pick and choose who had a legit reason for losing. If nothing was wrong with Cleveland Williams' hand, Ali still beats his ass and knock him the fuck out. Stop it. Stop. If Floyd Sr. hand wasn't messed up, does he beat Sugar Ray? Probably not. You understand what I'm saying? But at the same time, regardless, right? Y'all don't bring that fact up about Floyd. Y'all bring it up about, you know, Cleveland Williams for the people that didn't like the fact that, remember I said that was my favorite Ali fight, the way, like, just the way he was moving and everything, man. And how Cleveland Williams couldn't even touch him. He couldn't even touch him. Oh, man, what's so great about it? The man was shot in his hand. Okay, asshole. And like I said, that's my favorite Ali fight. Just everything about the fight. The way Ali moved, the way he was throwing his shots and everything. I like the way he punished Ernie Terrell. I mean, there's a lot of fights that it's hard for me to really, I'm saying that now. It really depends on how I feel. But, you know, what I'm feeling that day. But watching Ali and Ernie Terrell was just like, yeah, what's my name? Yeah, Ernie Terrell pissed him off because he kept calling him Cassius Clay. Wouldn't call him by his name. And playing dumb. And he even made a song about Ali, man. And they're singing a little jazz song, a little blues, whatever. Yeah. Doing everything to try to get under Ali's skin. Stuff like that, y'all. You know, stuff like that, man. So, yeah, like I said, I'm about to get in here and just relax. Cool out. Get up in the morning. Start all over. But, y'all, boxing can definitely do better. And I don't know what it's going to take. But we have too many key fights. And let me just say this, too. I don't know all the details with Spence and Crawford, but bottom line, the only real difference that I see with Fury and AJ is Fury never wanted to fight AJ in the first place. And this goes way back to when AJ and Hearn signed the contract when they were supposed to fight the first time. He showed the same lack of interest, but now when he's calling the shots, let me pretend I want to fight AJ. See, but all this WWE shit, you know, that's what he does. That's why he's in the WWE. That's why that's why he's okay with that. I'm just being straight up. I don't see how these guys, like I said, why these guys are so okay. They're cool with letting other fighters eat their food. Nah, man. Nah. You should want that smoke with everybody. That's the difference of being a champ. Like you hear real champs say, I'm a champion for a reason. Ain't no way, man, I'm going to be holding the title. And I got all these challenges out there. I got all these different jaws and ribs to break, and I'm going to sit there and let somebody do it for me? Nah, I want that smoke, man. I want to knock all y'all out. My career is over. I beat all y'all. They sit up here talking about how great they are. I beat them anyway, so I ain't need to fight them. And the fans say the same shit. Yeah, you right, yeah. Wow, you beat him anyway. And then y'all turn around and say, but this person didn't fight him, and he didn't fight him, and he ain't. Come on, man. You applaud that same notion, then you boo it. Depending on who's doing it, right? Anyway, y'all, talk to me in the comment section. Never fall in love with lies. Remember, the truth brings hate out of people. I will catch y'all on the next video.